Hello, good to see you today on another edition of Footprints. I'm going to be sharing with you what I call finding emotional healing in marriage. Today, there's a lot of marriage that are hurting. There's a lot of homes that are going under emotional pain for several reasons. Deserted husband, lonely wives, nagging, quarreling, conflicts, abuse, domestic violence, lost pregnancy, lost jobs. A whole lot of things are causing so much emotional pain and wound including Christian marriage. And it look like there is no healing inside, and many of us are not taught coping skills. How do we cope with emotional pain? How do we cope with emotional wound in marriage? The first thing is for you to accept responsibility. Usually, what I find out is that several of us don't accept the responsibility. We push the responsibility to our spouse. We think our spouse is the problem, whereas we have our own part in all of those things that is unlocking around us. Some of us are not even submitting to counsel, to premarital counsel before we get married. Some of us are rejected obvious good counsel, and we went into that relationship, so we are facing the backlash now. So the first thing for you to do when you want to fall in is to accept your own responsibility in all of this. We saw that in the life of Adam and Eve. God gave them instruction not to eat the fruit. Eventually, it happened and God showed up. Adam, why did you eat? The first thing was to pass the buck to Eve. From that time, the blame game has been on in our home and marriage. What is stopping most marriages from finding healing today is the blame game. Will you stop the blame game today and accept your own part of the responsibility? You are seeing your husband as a problem. What about your part? You are seeing your wife as a problem. What about your part? Accept responsibility and forgive yourself. That's the first thing. That's the first step towards finding healing for emotional wound in marriage. Number two is to forgive your spouse. Somebody said a happy marriage is the commitment of two people to forgive themselves endlessly. You have to have that commitment. That you are married does not mean that you are not going to be hurt in marriage. It does not mean that you are not going to suffer pain in marriage. And I'm not giving anybody license to intentionally, deliberately damage their wife or their husband. I'm saying that hurts happen in any relationship, especially marriage relationship, because you are the two people that are closest to yourself. So you are likely to hurt yourself because of promises that are not fulfilled, because of expectations that are not live up to, because of irreconcilable differences, and sometimes even because of incompatibility issues. So you have to learn to forgive yourself. Jesus said we should forgive our neighbor 70 times a day. Your wife is your first neighbor. Your husband is your first neighbor. So you have to have the commitment of the will to forgive. Your life must not be a museum of anger, of bitterness, of unforgiving spirits. No, you don't find healing like that. Don't keep the backlog of pain and offenses in your heart, in your mind, without forgiving your spouse. I'm praying for you that God will give you the boldness and the grace to go forgive your husband and forgive your wife. Number three thing that you need to do is to seek for help. Okay, it's not foolishness, it's wisdom. When you are sure that you are not able to deal with that issue again, look for help. Look for people that you trust their judgment. Look for qualified counselors. Okay, we have been taught wrongly that we should not bring a third party into our home. No, that's not correct. That's not correct. In Matthew chapter 19, verse 5 and 6, what God has done together, let man separate. Counselor is not separating you. They are helping you to get back again. Okay, so go look for help. The only thing that is wrong with that step is that if you are going to people who are not qualified to help you, because not everybody is qualified to help you in your marriage challenges. So you have to go and look for people that you trust their life, you trust their teaching, you trust their judgment. That's how to find healing. People that can help be a bridge between you and your husband, people that can help to ignite your spark again between you and your husband. Number 4, be positive. When you focus on the fault of your husband, we always see one. When you focus on the fault of your wife, you will always see one. Okay, be positive. Look for the best in your husband, look for the best in your wife, look for their strength, not just their weakness. Look for their good deeds, not just their failures. That's how to be positive. If you want to find fault in your home, in the life of your spouse, the devil will always point one to you. But guess what? Even you are not perfect yourself. The way your spouse has his own fault, you equally have your own fault. All of us must focus on the positive. All of us must focus on the strengths. Our spouse is not always doing everything wrong. There's something they are doing right. Focus on that thing. Focus on their strengths. And believe God that they will work on their weakness. Number 5, have faith. Have faith. Have faith that God can still heal your home again. God can still heal your marriage again. I've seen unlimited miracles of how God has healed home and marriage, including my home. So I'm telling you from my own experience. Okay, in John 5, the man was there, has been bedridden for 38 years. Okay, it didn't take Jesus another 38 years to heal that man. In Mark chapter 5, a woman has been bleeding for 12 years. In Israel, if a woman is bleeding, it's already an outskirt in her own home. Her husband will not even touch her. And yet, 12 years, God still healed that woman. Okay, so God can still heal your home and your marriage again. Don't be quick to give up. Don't be quick to give up. Don't be quick to give up on your husband. Don't be quick to give up on him, even because God is not even giving up on you. And God can work in the heart of your wife. God can work in the heart of your husband. I'm trusting that every pain, every hurt in your heart, God will heal your mind, God will heal your emotion, God will heal your marriage. You will find fulfillment again. New wine will begin to flow. I break every hold of the devil over your husband. I break every hold of the devil over your wife. Everywhere you have opened your home to every evil influence, I shut the door today. Go and begin to enjoy your home and marriage. Thank you. God bless you.